Welcome to Spring Fling 2026, May 23rd to 25th. I'm in Studio 83 on the Orange Route at Kindar House up on the Crichton Estate. So I've been lent this huge room by the Crichton Estate in order to put on an event. This event is going to be called Crowd. Now the idea with Crowd is I've set up a little scene where people will be photographed individually. Each person will be allotted a slightly different place. They'll be told where to go and stand. And if you take a little look on the floor here, you may see there's cards, and each of these cards represents a different spot that I've lined up. Now, some are on the floor at the front for people to sit down, then there's some chairs, then there's some spaces behind, and then there's even some chairs at the back for some people, the more adventurous, can go and stand on. What I'll be doing is I'll be photographing everybody from exactly the same angle. So the idea is that while everybody will be photographed individually, when I merge the photos together, it's going to look like one big scene. Now, the real fun with this is going to be the idea that I'm going to ask everybody to act as though they're interacting with other people, even though they will be photographed on their own. So maybe they'll want to pull a face at the person next to them or wave to somebody on the other side of the room. So when they're all merged together, it's going to look very, very interactive. Now, the real fun part of this is going to be afterwards, because everybody who takes part will get a copy of the photo. And at that point, they will find out who they were standing next to or who was standing just behind them. May turn out to be a neighbour, maybe a complete stranger, maybe somebody you went to school with years ago, or might even be your mortal enemy. So it's a fun kind of project, and it's going to be interesting to see whether it works or not. I've tried to do my best to make sure it is. The logistics are pretty tricky so that the people in front aren't going to end up blocking the people at the back. That's why I've got these different layers of people on the floor, people on chairs. Hopefully it's all going to work out. No guarantees, but then to be honest, that's part of the fun of it. However, if you really don't want to have your photo taken, or maybe if you're a bit camera shy, you could always turn your head and look as though you're interacting with somebody behind you so we don't get your face in. But what you could also do, if you really want, is you can bring along an item, bring along something personal, whether it's like a musical instrument or a tennis racket or a teddy bear or a book or something like that. And I think the more little personal items, the more little differences we have between each person, the more fun the final picture is going to be. There's going to be a little bit of a kind of a Where's Wally thing. The first thing you'll do is look to see if you can find yourself, and then you'll be looking to see who else you know that was in the picture at the same time. So yeah, really come along to that. However, if you really don't want to take part, but you'd like to see what's going on, you're still welcome. Or if you come with a group of you and a couple of you want to take part, a couple of you aren't bothered, there's still going to be plenty else to see. Because what I've done is I've used the excuse of being given this huge empty room to create a bit of a gallery as well. So I've been sticking up some photos. There are some that are old favourites that I took several years ago, and across the years they kind of built up a bit. Then I've got some more modern ones like the Firelight Trio, for example, where this particular photo was used for that album cover released at Celtic Connections earlier this year. But as well as the pictures, a lot of them have stories behind them as well. So I've made little bits of writing to go down the side. So if you're interested in the behind the scenes, there's plenty there as well to keep you occupied. But on top of that, my daughter will be here with some nibbles. She's made some home baking, gluten-free, vegetarian, brownies, cookies, that kind of thing. So you're welcome to try some of those out. Very mouth-watering. And if you'd like to leave a donation for it, any money raised will be going to a food bank. So good cause. Also, while you're up here on the Crichton Estate, there's still lots else to see. So just also in Kindar House, just downstairs in Studio 82, is Kevin Reed. And Kevin Reed does these amazing illustrations and printing and multimedia, lots to see and do, fascinating stuff. And then just around the corner is Clayworks, where we have Lauren and Chris, who are creating all sorts of amazing pottery and ceramics. They also run courses, and I think they'll be doing demonstrations. So make sure you come up to the Crichton on the Orange Route in Dumfries for some really fun experiences Spring Fling. Hope you can make it. Look forward to seeing you.